In Blighted Village, you'll encounter a bugbear who loves to sleep all day and night. If you ever try to wake him up, he will become hostile and a fight will start. It is quite a mystery that this bugbear sleeps all the time. Even no one in Blighted Village talks about this bugbear. Well, actually there is a goblin who talks about him, but most players miss that because they enter the Blighted Village through the main entrance. If you use the second entrance to enter the village for the first time, you'll trigger a new cutscene and get some extra dialogues from this goblin.
Hello and welcome to Bogrot. Now, kindly, gives all your stuff. Local sword scratchers probably called it something else, but they's dead 100 years. So now it's Bogrot, and you got to give over your goods. Well, ain't you got a sunny disposition? The bugbear all hates you. Go wake him up and tell him I sent you.
After talking to him, I went to the bugbear and tried to wake him up using different methods. I thought the conversation with the goblin would help me wake him up without making him hostile. I expected an option to tell the bugbear that the goblin sent me, but unfortunately it didn't make any difference. See these bandits? You kill them all inside the crypt. Why wouldn't you? They become hostile upon spotting you, leaving you with no other option but to kill them. But this fact alone isn't enough for the devs to create them as lifeless NPCs like in other games. They each have their own style, story, dialogues and interesting conversations. Staying invisible, I kept myself super hidden to observe them. The gloomy environment in the crypt perfectly matched their conversation. I believe almost all players miss this. Let me show you.
Keep looking. Something's up.
This place is falling apart. Could have happened by itself.
No such thing as coincidences, and there's loot to be had.
Something's rotten about this.
Well, it's a crypt, ain't it? Rot's to be expected.
Shut it! This is no time for joking around.
What are Gimblebok and the others doing up there?
Maybe we should go take a look.
Not a chance. Could be a trap. Just keep your eyes peeled.
I believe by this time most of you have already used the Speak with Dead spell in Baldurs Gate 3. It is one of my favorites. I was curious though if there is a way to ask the dead about the afterlife or the experience of death. I think that in real life if I could talk to the dead I would ask such questions. Luckily the developers didn't forget to include these details in the game. I was eager to ask the dead this kind of questions and I finally got my chance. If you kill Volo and use the spell on him you can ask these questions. Let me show you.
Transforming, glimmering. The story never told. The passing, beautiful. To be heard. Use your voice, always. Manuscript. Story of goblins. Absolute. Don't know how it ends. Rolo Temp. Get on. My mother's son.
Mother's son. Is that important to mention? Well, in Baldur's Gate 3 I guess it makes sense. Orin herself is her sister's daughter, if you know what I mean. In Blighted Village, if you talk to this goblin, she will initially say just one thing.
Watch what you touch. If it smells like weed, it's claimed, right?
But wait, that's not all. She actually has more dialogues that most players miss. You can even use detect thoughts on her. To do this, you'll need to enter Blighted Village using this path with Misty Step. Just remember, it must be your first time entering the village. Once you arrive, a cutscene will trigger. Let me show you.
Sniffing where you ain't ought to be, friend. Might have to take that nose. It's bollocks. Pheasant funning around while I'm stuck dealing with yobs. That a fact? He's at the windmill, mucking about. Wouldn't stray again if I were you.
Before moving any further, I have a request. Please hit the subscribe button to get more contents like this. It costs you only a few seconds but fills my heart with joy and all my hard works get paid off. So please do this. When can you recruit Halsin into your party? If your answer is Act 2, then you're correct. But actually there is a way to recruit him in early Act 1. I was curious to see what would happen if I brought Halsin back to the grove before killing the goblin leaders. Let me show you that first. Right now I have Halsin with me in the very early stage of Act 1 where I didn't even kill the goblin leaders. Let's talk to Wrath.
I hope to see Halsin return so he can help us heal. Please, if you find him, let me know.
He wants Halsin back in the grove even though Halsin is standing right in front of him. Now let's talk to Neddy.
Any word on Master Halsin? Thank the Father he's alive. Please, you have to get him out of there.
It seems the game treats this situation as if Halsin is still captive in the goblin prison, which isn't true. Now let me show you how to recruit Halsin in early Act 1. First, go to the goblin camp prison where Halsin is held captive. Kill all the goblins in that area and speak to Halsin. Tell him to wait there. Then drink a heal giant potion to increase your strength. Use the improvised melee action on Halsin and when he is picked up, fast travel to another location. Then tell Halsin to follow you.
Very well. My claws are yours.
Now he will follow you wherever you go. You can even take control of him if you want. Unfortunately, Halsin cannot speak to other NPCs in this case. Once you kill the Phase Spider Matriarch in the Whispering Depths, this giant hole will draw your attention. Well, this hole is actually a secret path to the Underdark, but jumping through this hole is certain suicide. But if you use Featherfall spell before jumping, then you can safely go to Underdark through this hole. Also, you'll get a nice cutscene about this. Once I safely reached Underdark, KARLACH got an inspiration point as well. Here you can also use gaseous form instead of Featherfall, but in that case the usual cutscene won't trigger. In Act 1, when you first encounter LAE'ZEL, you'll see her trapped in a cage guarded by 2 tieflings. Here, the tieflings remain hostile toward her, but if you approach them as a drow, then you'll get a different cutscene than usual. Let's try.
Zoru was right. Yellow as a toad, twice as ugly.
The thing's dangerous. Leave it for the goblins to kill.
Holy hells. Under elf.
Lay time, Ernest.
In this situation you get very limited options where siding with LAE'ZEL is a must. When you first reach the shadow-cursed land, your tab will react to the unholy atmosphere. In fact, all your party members will have unique and interesting reactions to this area. But you will only see the reaction of the character you are controlling at that moment. I reloaded the game several times to see each companion's unique reaction. Let me show you.
This place is darker than dark. As if the shadows could cast shadows. Well, I've got to push through. Unless a passing griffin offers a ride. It's the only way to Moonrise Towers.
There's a familiar power to these shadows. Neither fully comforting or threatening. No matter, Moonrise Towers has to remain the focus.
I lived in the shadows for centuries, but never found darkness this unsettling. Alas, this is the only path to Moonrise Towers. So into the dark I go.
Kind of beautiful, but also feels like you could choke on your own breath here. Only way to Moonrise, unfortunately.
Shrouded in no ordinary shadows. What evil lurks within such darkness? Moonrise Towers lies ahead. I must keep going, however bleak the path.
I know the dark of world space, but I've never known a dark like this. But it's the only path to Moonrise Towers. I have to push forward.
I've never seen darkness like this before. It's unsettling. But if this is the way to Moonrise Towers, then this is the only path I've got.
In Baldur's Gate 3 there are several NPCs who have been encountered but haven't spoken to, like the Harpies who you must defeat to save Markon. Very few players know that the Harpies have their own dialogues, and surprisingly your Taff can speak in the cutscenes. There is also a mysterious talking bird in the game and an orange sister who may go unspoken to. Have you ever talked to Ben, the Black Lord? This video explores these examples and more. I have shown all these rare secret conversations in this video. You can watch it by clicking here. Visit my channel to get more Baldur's Gate 3 videos like this. Subscribe if you like. Till then, have a nice day. Goodbye.